The Detroit Lions are finally catching a break on the injury front, just as the NFL calendar flips to September and the countdown to Week 1 kicks into high gear. For a Lions team that has battled through its fair share of setbacks that feel like echoes of the darkest Detroit moments, Barry Sanders' abrupt exit, Calvin Johnson's sudden retirement, and the soul-crushing Euro 16 collapse, this news hits like a shot of adrenaline. With the season opener looming at 4:25 p.m. Eastern on September 7th, and the Lions set to face their NFC North nemesis Green Bay Packers in enemy territory, the stakes couldn't be higher. Can Detroit keep riding the surge from their back-to-back winning seasons, or will injuries rip the wool over a renewed football renaissance? We all remember last year's playoff ouster, that shocking loss to the Commanders that might have gone differently if this team had been anywhere close to healthy. If the Lions want to avoid a replay of that nightmare, they must protect their core, and that means getting key players back on the field. The NFC North doesn't wait around. The Packers, Vikings, and even the Bears smell blood and are circling. Green Bay's defense is desperate to claw back after a shaky offseason. Minnesota's offense is quietly sharpening its claws. The Bears are back, hungry and rebuilt. Detroit can't afford a slow start or a patchwork lineup. That middle ground is where front offices either build legacies or dig graves. The question, will the Lions dodge a black hole of injuries and slide into the playoffs again, or collapse under the weight like so many times before? This is Lions territory. No lullabies here, only roars. This is Lions News Fan Report, your pulse on every hit, every snap, every moment that matters in Honolulu blue. Subscribe now or risk missing the roar at Ford Field and the Tailgate Tales. That fuel Detroit's fight. The season isn't just coming, it's roaring back to life. Now the news, it's finally here. Sam Laporta, the tight end who's as beloved in Detroit as pancake breakfasts on game day, is back to full strength and expected to line up against the Packers in Week 1. After missing significant time in training camp with an undisclosed injury, Laporta wasn't listed on the first injury report, a strong sign he's healthy enough to spark the middle of this offense. Last season, he hauled in 60 catches for 726 yards and 7 touchdowns, numbers that not only made him Jared Goff's favorite target, but turned him into an X-factor in Detroit's dynamic attack. His presence means linebackers in Green Bay will have to pick their poison, cover him, or worry about the run game opening up. Laporta's physicality and route running add a full dimension to the offense that Dan Campbell's system demands. Versatile, tough, and capable of big play impact. This fits neatly with the offensive identity Ben Johnson helped architect, a blend of slick passing and punishing ground game that's hard to stop when fully staffed. Laporta's return reshuffles the depth chart and shifts the balance away from rookie tight ends and slot receivers who filled in during his absence in camp. It gives Goff that safety valve and matchup weapon who chains defenses to the sideline. But the benefits go beyond the individual. Together with Goff, who just earned the rare honor of being named the NFL's 15th best player, this signals a team laser-focused on sustaining and surpassing its top-ranked offense from last year. Goff's elite accuracy and leadership were instrumental in the Lions' franchise record 15-win season and second straight NFC North title. Even losing defensive stalwarts Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn shakes the foundation, but Goff and Laporta's synergy remind everyone this team's Super Bowl dreams are alive, breathing, and no longer fantasy. Now, the pressure shifts. Miller, blitzes, Rodgers-esque cautionary tales in the division, and the sheer unpredictability of the NFL will test if Detroit can hold this momentum. But it's not just about stats or rankings, it's about what this means for the grind, for the tough blue-collar heart of Detroit. With Laporta back, fans can believe again that this team won't crack under pressure or the divisional brawl ahead. It's a sign that this squad might finally outlast the injury curse that long cast a shadow over the Motor City. Given the physical style Dan Campbell demands, having a weapon like Laporta at tight end isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. The Packers won't like it. Vikings will have to account for it. Even Bears fans will mutter Detroit's name with a hint of dread this September. At the depth chart level, Laporta's return gives this offense much-needed balance. And with Detroit's offensive line and receiving core firing on all cylinders, playoff-caliber football isn't out of the question. So what does this mean for Detroit's NFC North race? It's a signal that, at the very least, the Lions are healthy, hungry, and ready to fight for every inch of field, every inch of history. Ford Field will shake, the tailgates will roar, and Detroit's unapologetic grit will be on full display for a fan base that has endured heartache, taunts, and too many seasons starting with low expectations. This news provides something rare, real, tangible hope. Sure, injuries can still lurk in the shadows and the season is long and brutal, but with Laporta back, a top-tier quarterback in Goff, and the weight of history pressing hard, the Lions have a chance to run with the big dogs and rewrite the narrative. Before we sign off, here's a Lions insider's quip for you. This team hasn't had a clean injury report since Barry Sanders stopped dodging hits and started dodging the spotlight. Yet here we are, inching toward a new era where the term injury report might lose its sting in Detroit. With Laporta ready to go and Goff still firing on all cylinders, this could be the difference between another heartbreaking playoff flame-out and a run worthy of letting every team in the NFC North know the Lions aren't just back, they mean business. So ask yourself this, Lions fans, how far can this offense take Detroit with Laporta's hands on the ball and the roar of Ford Field behind them? Is this the turning point? The season opener against the Packers is Sunday, the showdown, and the answers are coming fast. Stay locked in. Lions Nation, the roar is not done yet. What if this isn't just a feel-good return for Laporta, but the first domino in a chain that could shatter every doubt hovering over Ford Field? The defense's shaky start, the NFC North Sharks circling. With sharpened teeth, could a single injury turn our season into a nightmare again? Or is Detroit finally set to flip the entire script, riding Laporta's surge straight into enemy territory and leaving the division in the dust? The depth of that gamble could determine whether this season is a victory lap or another heartbreak on the horizon. The stakes are sky high, and every Lions fan knows the ghosts of past failures, Barry Sanders' sudden exit, Calvin Johnson's unfulfilled dreams, the 0-16 mess, are still lurking in our rearview mirror. But the payoff for hitting this right might be bigger than we've seen in decades. Can Laporta's return truly tip the scales, or will the injury bug strike harder than ever and turn Detroit's glossy comeback into a story of what could have been? Rumors swirl that if Goff and Laporta click, our offense could finally challenge the NFC's best. But what if the biggest move of all is that the front office is holding its breath? Could they be secretly weighing an even riskier call, doubling down on grit, or pulling a rabbit out of the hat that fans aren't ready for? And if so, what happens when division rivals start jeering in real time? Minnesota's offense quietly sharpening its claws, Green Bay's shaky defense desperate for redemption, and Chicago's new-look roster hungry and armed. The NFC North is a wolf pack, and Detroit's the slow-moving lamb, unless we fast-track the starting lineup, quickening our pulse and flipping the narrative in one explosive week. Will the Lions front office gamble on Laporta's health, or is this just the beginning of a game of high-stakes chess that could backfire? Because the secrets buried in that injury report might be the key to either smashing the playoff ceiling or shattering our hopes entirely. You see the signals: tough decisions, roster shuffles, the kind of moves that make or break careers. And here's the real question: are we brave enough, bold enough, to bet it all on a tight end who might just be the difference between an NFC North crown or another season of what-ifs? The clock is ticking louder than ever. The tailgate's heating up. The roar at Ford Field is waiting for this moment. And if Detroit takes this chance, well, believe me, the NFL won't see another team quite like us. But what's the fallout if we miss? Could one injury, one slip-up, undo all this momentum faster than Goff's quick release? The division is circling, the playoffs loom, and the question remains, is Laporta's full-speed return enough to bridge the gap, or is this just a shiny Band-Aid over a deeper wound? The fans want answers and trust. This next move might write the next chapter in the Lions' legacy or bury it deep in the Detroit dirt. You want the honest truth? We're teetering on the edge, every snap, every decision echoing through the Motor City streets. The front office's move to activate Laporta might be the smartest gamble or the loudest mistake they'll ever make. The clock's ticking, the division's watching, and the season's fate hangs in the balance. And if the front office gambles now, we could be witnessing the start of a Lions dynasty or the death of a dream. One way or the other, this is Detroit, and we don't back down. Honestly, I've seen enough seasons of heartbreak to know we're one injury or bad call away from the same old Lions disaster. But this move with Laporta, if it works, could finally push us past the horizon, finally get us that glimpse of real greatness. I'm sick of the mediocrity, sick of the rebuilds. I want to see this team run wild and rewrite the history books. Starting now, fuel the fury, Lions fans. Stand tall, raise the banners, and let's make it clear. This is our time, our pride. The roar begins at Ford Field, and we don't back down. One pride, always one fight.